Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very two special guests here for the show today. Can y'all both go ahead and announce to the world who y'all are and where y'all calling from?
Why don't you start, Larry?
Hello, my name's Larry.
And come on.
I
Where are you calling from, Larry?
am calling from Oshawa, Canada.
Cool. And how about you, Crispy? Oh, I
Okay.
didn't say the name. Lord Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I was
Go
on your
ahead
show.
and repeat the name.
My name is Chris B, and I'm also from Oshawa. Actually, he's one town over in Whitby, so it's not far. It's just a bus ride for him to pop over here and hang out. Or what we're doing today, we're doing a bunch of podcasting. So, yeah, in Oshawa, Ontario, and it's a pleasure to be back on the podcast.
Wow, I love both of y'all energy. Now, we're going to talk about something very serious. Today, we're going to talk about something that affects a lot of people in all countries. Can you tell me a little bit about what you know, per se, about bullying? And then Larry can tell me his what he feels about bullying as well, how he feels. And then I can tell you how I feel.
Okay. Bullying. I hate bullies, and I've been through it, through the ringer since 2020 with bullies, 2020, 2021, and then recently in January 2024, and then like later on, like in March, April 2024 this year. It's just been the cycle keeps on. What's the word I'm looking for? The cycle keeps on
Going. You
going.
see, I messed up earlier. Yeah, it keeps on going. Yes, I
Yeah.
help you out. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Larry?
I have been bullied before, especially when I first came on to work to do it with him.
Mm-hmm.
What podcast is Larry talking about?
What podcast, Larry?
When we first I think it was back when I first started on for this to help him out.
Yeah. He was my camera. A small little spiel on him, his history. He was my cameraman for the Entertainment Talk Show, and then we went on hiatus for a year, and then he actually ended up leaving the company, and there was a bit of drama between us. We weren't talking for a good almost 11, 12 months, and then we kind of reconciled. And then he wasn't involved whatsoever until June 2018, and we started the Power Rangers collaboration podcast together, and then Power Rangers collaboration became part of the CBOTW Show, and the rest is history now.
Let me tell you about something that I didn't tell you, like when we were off script.
Mm-hmm.
So, I remember that I used to get bullied all the time. I won't say who or what, when and where, but I'll talk a little bit about it. So, I used to get called slow, or I used to be set in traps where I ended up being the one that get abused, and people would laugh at it, and it was not healthy, because now, this was when I was like young, because now when I'm older, it's hard for me to trust people. It's very hard. It's hard to sit up there and go out there and actually trust that somebody isn't thinking that I'm slow, because of the multiple abuse, the continuous abuse that I endured while in my younger ages.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the truth. So, I used to be called like ugly, and then when I got to high school, it was even worse. From my clothing to the way I spoke, I wasn't good enough in high school. And things happen in high school, but what do you think? Do you think we need more toughness with the teachers, instead of teachers adapting to the students picking on other students? we need more teachers to crack down on them picking on other students other than to just laugh at it themselves. What do you think, both of y'all?
Want me go? You want to go first?
Sure. I think I have to agree there that the teachers should crack down on bullying more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they should too, Larry. I really think they should because it's causing people to want to commit suicide. People don't have outlets, their parents don't understand. They think that they'll outgrow it or something will happen where they'll adapt. It's not going to work,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you think, Chris?
They definitely need to crack down. I was bullied in high school by this one person, and he, karma got him because he got expelled. I guess he did something he wasn't supposed to, but I felt relieved when I found out he was expelled. But they need to crack down on it, and I think people like the people who are being bullied really need to start, telling the teacher, telling someone that they're being bullied, or if it's not in school, if not school related, like tell the police or something, or like file a report, but social media is a whole different thing with bullying too, right, Larry? Because we've been bullied on social media quite a lot, and Larry's seen me in my worst, and even before when I was in my before I was dealing with my anxiety, I was a complete mess with all the bullies. So it really affected us. But something has to be done. There has to be some kind of like crackdown, even with the law too.
Yeah, I think the teachers and even the parents and other people that these bullies, which is the people that are being bullied, they need to be held accountable. If a bully tell a teacher, "Hey, look, I'm being bullied and it's affecting my classwork, it's affecting when I go home, how I study, how I interact with my other brothers and sisters, something is going on." So if the teacher just sit up there and brush it and say, "You know what, this is just a part of life. You have to learn how to, take your strength back," or some BS, coach you through something that has nothing to do with nothing. And when you try to take your strength back, because the bullies, they have issues at home. Their environment, number one, their environment, maybe they get bullied when they're at home, but I think that it should be a full-blown investigation, from the bullies to the bulliers, to have them have a statement of why they feel like they're being harassed. Because if it doesn't happen, if they don't take into consideration what these bullies are saying about the bulliers or the bullies, then it's going to happen outside of high school where they do it as adults and they think that they're going to get away with it. And then it's going to graduate to them doing even more, like touching or mentally hurting them online. Online is a really tough situation because it's like you have people online that says some harsh stuff. They sit behind a computer and they say some harsh stuff, very harsh stuff, and they know it hurts people and they want a reaction, and it's just not right. It's not right. What is your input, Larry and Chris?
Well, you want to go, or do you want me to go? Okay, we're going to take turns on that one.
Cool.
So definitely it has to be cracked down because there was one individual, I won't mention names or anything, kept harassing me on Twitter. What's formerly known as Twitter, now it's X, but kept mentioning me and saying your show sucks, you don't get any listeners. Well, technically now the joke's on them because we get sometimes between 30 and 40,000 views a month on our website. We just we're just peaking at that every month, 30 to 40 every month. It's just been amazing. And people do listen, and I'm Entertainment Man, may as well say this, 97 subscribers. 97. And the main channel is at 21, but we're building. So people cannot say that we are not successful. We are. There's another time, I'll make this quick. It was the year my aunt passed away, 2015. I was streaming on a website that doesn't exist anymore. And Larry, you probably remember that whole scene, right? The whole spiel. But I was streaming. I was doing the music show for a change. I had a license at the time. And this guy, older than me, kept mentioning me on Twitter. I was getting so overwhelmed. I ended up doing self-harm online live, and I ended up getting banned. So
I want you to tell me before Larry speaks, what was going through your head at that moment when you self-mutilated yourself?
I wasn't thinking straight. And honestly, I ended up, sorry, I'm just going to fix the earphones there. So I was going through a lot because my aunt passed away, and I was, mourning the loss of my aunt and all that. So it was really, really difficult having to deal with that, the bullying, and my aunt passing away, because I was pretty broken up when she passed away, like my grandma was too last year. So.
And how about, well said, and I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear that. What about you, Larry?
Well, I have to say, I do remember when I was younger, elementary school, I had one teacher, and no one, I remember I got suspended once for some just for hitting my teacher. I was trying to defend myself, and my mom let me do whatever I wanted. And she didn't punish me at all.
No. Well, can I jump in for a second, Larry? It's not our fault. Like, if we're doing the bullying thing, yeah, it would be our fault. But if we're being bullied, it's not our fault. It's just people. What's the word I'm looking for, Larry? People have nothing better to do. And like you're talking about people online, what Larry and I and my team call it, keyboard warriors. That's our term. We call them keyboard warriors.
Wow. So basically, Larry, what you're telling me is that when you were in school, somebody sat up there and picked on you, and you tried to defend yourself, and they didn't even do nothing about it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I literally, I tried to defend myself. I slapped them too, and I was just trying to defend myself. They just wanted me to just check, telling me they were gonna fail.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Larry.
He didn't fail. You didn't fail, Larry. You graduated college. You most likely high school. You graduated, right, with your diploma. So do I. Like, and I think Larry's kind of inspired me to do more of an episode about bullying a little bit more. I know people complain about, oh, you talk about bullying all the time. I don't. But,
who cares? Who cares if you talk about bullying? It should be talked about.
Yes,
advocated
exactly.
For.
Same with mental health. Advocated.
Yes.
Disabilities. Exactly the same thing. Because we're both got a disability, the two of us. So we know. Too. Yeah, so we know how each other ticks. I could insult him for the heck of it. He doesn't even say a thing to me. He just looks at me and that's it.
Yeah, man. Like,
He's got
I,
tough skin. You have to have tough skin, right, Larry?
Mhm.
You have to have really tough skin to put up with the bullying.
yeah, and it makes you cry behind the scenes. It makes you want to kill yourself behind the scenes. It makes you do all types of stuff that you would normally do. What happened to actually encouraging people? Actually encouraging people, saying, "Hey, I know you're going through a tough time, but let's do this together. I'll walk with you, friend, and we can make things work." What happened to that? But nowadays everybody is in cliques and they
Mm-hmm.
bully people. I can see if you were in a clique encouraging somebody like y'all do, but these people get into cliques because they're taught that at a young age, to get into a clique and sit up there and just, that's the way of the world, and it's not. What last thoughts? Because I want to say this live. I feel like we must do this for like an hour next time. I think we should do this for an hour, and I think
Mm-hmm.
this should be a once a month um thing. But first, answer the question. What is your input?
On bullying,
Well,
bullying.
what I just said when I
Yeah.
said, yeah, yes.
Wait, want to go first, Larry?
Sure. Like, it was from my experience, there's still many who believe me, but not much. Yeah, because I could tell that this teacher was, I thought this teacher was going to get me, but I, I transferred schools actually shortly after that.
Mm-hmm.
Did he just say he switched schools?
Did you say which schools, right?
Yeah, well, no, the teacher I had was real nasty. Not, my mom didn't even like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mom had to switch schools too, Larry. Switch schools for me. And then ultimately I ended up homeschooled before I ended up back in the high school. Um, it was terrible, man. I would rather them, what I mean by like cracking down, I mean the teachers be held accountable. You know,
Agree.
and yeah, they need to be held accountable for not helping those who are being picked on. Period. And they can risk getting fired over that. Not a slap on the wrist. They already don't get paid as much. My heart goes out to them not getting paid as much, but to sit up there and not do nothing about somebody being bullied is wrong. It's just
Agree.
wrong.
I agree. We
I,
agree, actually.
I
Yeah.
agree, yeah.
It's just it just seems to be a vicious cycle, both in person and also online. It's just I even had a neighbor who that her and I were great friends, and we used to hang out once in a while, and then she just turned on me. She started bullying me. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna cut ties with that person. And sometimes you have to make that decision. Being bullied, like, okay, is this person really your friend, or are they, a bully and not really your friend?
Yeah. They I don't understand why people do that. It's like a shark that smell blood from miles away.
Mm-hmm.
If they see that we are, because one thing about people that are bullied, we are scared to attach ourselves to relationships because we're afraid that it might happen again.
Mm-hmm.
So some people, they smell that in the water, and then they start retreating us the same way. What do you think about that, y'all? Like what your neighbor did. At first she was cool, and then she started bullying you once you seemed to be nicer to her, or whatever the case may be.
I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, for neighbors, I, I can't say I had any neighbors he bullied me, but I do know how he feels. So I asked that I was always taught from a young age that you should you should always go to learn to trust those you can, and not trust those who
You got
don't.
a good mother. You got a good mother. She taught you well, Larry. She taught
She's a
you really well. I like
she,
that saying.
she's a wonderful lady. I've met her. She's invited me to movies. Larry and I are really close. I think more than I would say he's like a brother to me, really.
I was thinking that, dude.
Yeah.
That's why y'all like brothers, dude.
He's like my best friend and like brother. And my partner in crime, as we call it. Podcast crime, that's what we call each other. So the dynamic duo of podcasting. And we may have had our little share of problems, but in the past, and we really understand each other now. We're going on 14 years. We've known each other. So we really, really understand each other and, our disabilities and, going through daily struggles.
And well said, by the way. Is there anything you would like to say that you would like to see happen for the future with bullying? Both of y'all can chime in, and then we're going to leave it at that.
Okay. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, you mentioned that bullying can actually should be cracked down upon, and anything like if you live like college or high school it could put their life at risk. No, they can end up in prison.
Yeah, there should be a. No, what? Before we do our next episode, we're going to look up on the laws on bullying in Ontario. I think that'd be good to educate ourselves.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I was thinking like me look up the statistics and y'all look up the statistics on y'all end and see how they compare next time. If there's a next time. I would love for them to be a next time.
Oh, definitely. Maybe our 10th anniversary, we can pop on during after the event. It will be an evening, though. It'll be in the evening.
It's okay.
So we'll be pretty busy in the daytime. But, yeah, it's like there should be a law. Like, there should be a law. And honestly, like, I would, with the school, like in schools, I would probably either I wouldn't expel them right away, but I mean, have so much, they would be strict enough, to punish them, like suspend them for 3 days and then a week. And then it just keeps going on a vicious cycle. Then I would say, you know what, you're out. You're gone. You're out of the school.
Yeah. I agree.
What is it? A 3-strike warning. That's what we go.
Yeah.
That's what we have with our network, our media. 3 strikes, and you're out of our community. We're not going to put up with any drama or bullying or anything. So that's really important that we implemented that, and it's worked so far.
Good. So you got a lot of good people watching y'all. And how can the people reach you in y'all show?
All right, so CBOTW Show is on audio only. Also, it is on Facebook. Not Facebook. YouTube.com/ChrisBONTheWeb Media. The audio only is actually attached to our main channel. You can listen to iTunes, Spotify, any of the platforms you get podcasts on. ChrisBONTheWeb.com to find all the main handles for Crispy on the Web. We're on Facebook, X, Instagram. We do have a little Discord server as well. What about you, Larry?
Yeah, I really can help out those.
No, links.
I'm actually I'm on Instagram and X.
Yeah, at Larry Riek 1982, right? Yeah.
Cool. I wish there was more time, but y'all stay on the line for a second. Definitely take care, you guys. I will see y'all another time with Larry and Chris B. Thank you.